Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Okay, so let's
Good
begin.
morning, sir.
Morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. So we'll see the remaining string functions today. So let's begin. So I'll just call it demo1.py. Okay. Now yesterday we saw find. Find was searching from the left hand side, and we were able to specify the starting and the ending position in which we want to search. Now there is something known as an R find which will search from the other end. I'll show you how. So let's say I have a string, I call it txt, and what to say? Let's say to be or not to be, right? So if this is the string and I say that okay, pos is equal to txt dot R find, and then I say that okay, I want to search for b because b is occurring twice, right? And this is supposed to be a single equal to. Now we go to the next line and we say that okay, print the position, right? So if I run this program, notice what happens. It gives me 16. 16 is the position of this b, right? Similarly, like just to remind you, if I just say find, it will give me the position of the first b, which is 3. Making sense?
Yep.
So you
Yes,
can
sir.
find from the beginning or you can find from the end also if you want. So R find is basically reverse find, finding from the other side, that is the right hand side. Any doubts or clarifications?
No, sir.
And obviously
No, sir.
if it doesn't exist, it won't be found and no error will be given. It will just give -1. So if I run it
-1.
like this, you'll get -1. In fact, there is one more function known as index which works just like find, but it raises an exception if it is not found. So usually, I mean, it depends on your use case scenario, but usually people want to use either find or R find. Okay, so there is an index and there is an R index, and that gives an error. Like for example, if I make this B, or I'll just create another file, hold on. So let's say I call it demo2, and then I say that okay, find, not find, index. So if I say index, now notice B is present right now, small b. So see, it gives giving 3. But if I make it capital, see, you get a substring not found value exception, right? So if this is required, you can use this. Otherwise, you can. And similarly, there is an R index also. So if I say in small, it will give the same answer. But if it is not found, it will not give -1, but it will give an exception. Clear? So you can use either index or R index or R find, depending on whether you want an exception to be raised or you are happy with the value of -1. Okay, so this is one thing. Now another thing which I wanted to discuss was the center function. So let's say I save it again and I say that I want to center something. So of course it won't return a position. So let me call it, I have to call it something. So let's call it output. And I say center and 30 for example. So now if I run it, it will return a string and it will center it within a position of 30. Now it might not be evident unless until we have something on the sides. So what I'll do is I'll print an asterisk so that you can clearly see what is happening. So I'm right now saying an asterisk before and after, and I don't want any separator in between as well. So once this is done, I'll say that okay, separator is equal to nothing. So now if I run it, can you notice to be or not to be is centered within the width of 30 characters. Clear? So this is how you can center. If I change it, it will
Yes,
change
sir.
obviously. So this is centered. So you can use this if you want, if you are interested in centering a string. And then there is an R just also, the similar thing for right justify. Now don't ask me for the left justify because by default it is justified left, so it's not required, but there is an R just as well. So if I save another copy of this, let's call it demo 4, and I say instead of center, I say R just. So now it will happen, what will happen is that it will right justify it within the same width, that is to be or not to be, this E will come over here. Watch this. Clear? Now this is not something which you cannot do otherwise, like using slicing and all and adding a spaces at the beginning. You can do it, but these are convenience function which can make your task easier. You don't have to do it yourself. Okay? Okay, one more thing is, like for example, and I believe that goes for the center also. I think it will work for the center also. Okay, let's hope. Yeah, it will work for the center also. So I can give a second character also, that what I want to justify it with. Like for example, I say that okay, it should not be space, it should be a single quote. So this is a possibility. So now if I run it, the justification is done with a dash. Clear? You can give that second character is optional. If you don't give it, okay, let me not destroy this. So what I'll do is I'll paste it, and then this I'll have directly. So if you don't give anything, it uses space for justification for padding. Otherwise, whatever character you give, that will be used for padding, and that will apply for R justify as well. So here also I can give a second character, and let's say I want to justify with an underscore. So now what will happen is that those, instead of those spaces, you'll get a underscore. Any doubts or clarifications?
No, sir.
No one? Okay, this
No,
is
sir.
one thing. And there is an ljust, just if you want, just in case you want to use it. I don't know why will you use it, but you can use it. Okay, no, you can. Actually, it will add a space at the end. Hold on. So let's say I go to rjust, I make a copy of it. I just got confused. So I say demo 5, and I make this rjust into ljustify. With this space, it might not be visible, but if I'm having a dash or something else, or especially if there is something after it, then you see this is not left justified. So whatever you print after it will be printed from this point onwards. So if you want to display something in column in a tabulated form, either you can use /t or you can use this as well. Any doubts or clarifications?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Now let us try to write some programs based on what we have done till now. So let's say what to start with. Okay, simple one. Let's say we want to count the number of vowels in a string. Okay, simple. So I'll call it vowel count.py. And I want to enter a string. So let's say the string is str. I say str is equal to input. And I say, please enter a string. Okay. Once we have a string, we want to count the number of vowels. That means we have to check all the characters one by one. So first we'll use a simpler approach. So we have to take out characters one by one. So I'll say for ch in str. So due to this, what will happen? Each of the characters will be iterated one by one. So if I run it right now, you'll whatever we enter, that will be displayed character by character. So for example, I say this is a demo. So computer will print THIES one character on each line. Now we want to check whether the character which has come out is a vowel or not. How can we check anyone? Easiest way?
I mean, the most easiest and direct way would be A, E, I, O, U.
No, what you want me to write, that's what I'm saying.
And if condition, basically, if it's A, E, I,
Okay,
O, U.
separately. So there is one way, the traditional approach, and that is if CH is equal to A or CH is equal to B. Obviously, this is going to get very boring pretty soon. So we'll
So we
use,
can make an array.
can you think of something a Python friendly way? Actually, we can just
Character
say if ch
Uh-huh.
in And we can simply say A, E, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U, done. This is how we do it in Python. So if ch is found in this string, we'll have to count it. So we'll just say count plus is equal to 1. Of course, we have to declare a variable by the name of count also. At the top, we'll say just count is equal to 0. So if it's a vowel, we'll count it. Otherwise, we'll just skip it. And when everything is done, we'll say print vowel count. And then we'll print the vowel. There's no space. And we'll say count. Let's try this out and see if it's working or not. So if I run it, and we go down, and I say to be or not to be. So how many vowels? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? So there are 6 vowels and the program is working. Any doubts?
No, sir.
Okay,
No,
so
sir.
this is how you can counter vowel. In fact, this technique can be used for any other thing as well. Okay, if you want to make the program slightly better, we can, let me make a copy of it. So we'll say save as, and let's call it vowel count 2. No, that was nothing. So this is 1. And let's say I want to do it using functions. We have done functions also. So we want to improve it. We can make a function for this. We can say def is vowel. We can pass a character. And here we can say return ch in. And then we'll give the same thing. A, I, O, U, A, E, I, O, U. And then if you want to make it more readable over here, we'll select this and we'll have the function call instead. So this will look neat. And if you want to change it later, you can easily change it. Right? Of course, the answer is not going to change. So if I run it again and I give the same input, to be or not to be. So you get 6. Any doubts?
None.
Okay.
No,
Now
sir.
let us modify this question a bit. I want to count the number of consonants. So I'll just make a copy of it. And I'll, instead of vowel count, I'll call it consonant count. There is no need for this 1 at the end, so I'll get rid of this. So now save it. Yes, anyone? How to do it for the consonants now? Now you might be thinking that if something is
Sir,
not a...
if we not,
Sir, if not is vowel.
sir,
Okay,
if yes, sir. If not is equals to equals
okay,
to vowel.
so let's see. Consonant, is the spelling correct? Is consonant ch. And Siddharth has suggested, where's the line gone? Okay. And Siddharth has suggested that we can say return not is vowel ch. That is what you're suggesting, right? So
Yes, sir.
instead of vowel count, we'll count consonant count.
Sir, but it will count spaces also.
Exactly, that's the point. So if I run it, spaces, numbers, everything. Like for example, if I say 1, 2, 3, there you are. Consonant count is equal to, is it not working? Why? Oh, we never called it, sorry. We have to call it as well. So is consonant. So if I run it and I say 1, 2, 3, Q, it will say that there are 4 vowels, but actually that's not right. There's only 1 vowel. So what to do now?
I mean, we can add an if condition for character, alphabetical character check here.
How? So we can say over here that if is alpha, remember we talked about is alpha, if alpha ch and not is vowel, then it's saying is alpha is not defined. How come that's possible? Oh, sorry, the syntax is wrong. The syntax should be ch dot is alpha. That is how it goes. Now there is no error. So now if I run the program and I say that the string is 123Q and I press enter, it says that consonant count is 1. Make sense?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let us do we have time? Yes, we do have time. So let's say we want to display the frequency of all the alphabets this time. I want to enter a string and I want to display the frequency of all alphabets. So I say frequency alpha dot phi. So first step, str is equal to input, enter some text, right? So this will prompt us to enter the text. Now we want to have the frequency. Yes, how to proceed, anyone? We want to say how many times A is occurring, how many times B is occurring, how many times C is occurring, and so on and so forth.
And no redundancy 0, right? Yeah.
Yes. In fact, we don't even want to count a capital A as different from a small a. So the
Okay.
first
All right.
step is that we'll convert everything into lowercase or everything into uppercase. So let's say,
Okay.
for example, I say that, okay, convert,
str dot to upper.
or not to upper, just upper.
Upper.
Yeah. So now everything is in uppercase and now we want to count.
A dot is
Dot is missing. Yeah, I'll place the dot. Done. Okay. Now everything is in uppercase and now we want to count. Yes. Anyone, how to proceed?
Sir, I think so it will be str.count.
No, I don't want to count right now. I'm converting everything into uppercase so that we have to only check for A once. Because otherwise computer will treat small a as different and capital A as different.
Okay.
Come on, suggest something. How to proceed?
So one hint out there, we'll just use a list.
Yes, we can either use a list or we can take a nested loop. Nested loop will be very expensive. So let us take a list. So how do you want me to take a list?
An empty list initially. I mean,
Empty list. Okay, so let's call it frequency will do.
yeah.
So let's say there's an empty list. Okay, now what do you want me to do?
Now
Give
the
it-
idea is, okay. We have not done dictionaries yet, have we?
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
We won't be
Alright.
using anything outside what we have done till now.
Okay. All right. I mean,
Actually, I have purposely not
I-
done dictionary. First, we'll do it without the dictionary, and then in tomorrow's class, I'll show you how you can improve this by using a dictionary.
exactly.
Yes.
I give the first hint. I don't want to give out the solution just yet.
Okay.
So we can take two arrays of length 26.
And then what?
So
Acha, okay, got it.
we'll
You want to store the
Yes, sir.
characters in one array and the corresponding frequency in the other array. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And later on, when we'll do the dictionary thing, then we'll do it in one. Okay. So what you want me to write? So how to take the list of 26?
So we'll give 26 alphabets in lowercase.
You want me to type that much?
26
Excuse me, sir.
Lazy.
Yes, Karthik.
So we can learn a for loop from 97 for 26 times, and we can directly use the function count.
Okay, so you are suggesting that we can run a loop to fill the array 26 times, and okay, this.
No, sir, we don't want the array.
Then what do you want me to do?
So we can run the loop from 97 onwards, and we can convert it into character, and then we can use the count function.
Okay, we'll first do what Karthik is saying, and then we'll try to improve upon it. So he's saying that we'll run a loop for. You are running it from 0 to. Sorry, you said 97 because 97 is A. That's your idea.
Yes, sir.
But we have converted everything into capital, so better take it from 65.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Okay.
I thought we have converted lower.
No. Okay. So 65 to 91.
90.
Or basically 90 plus 1, right? So that it's clear. So this
Yes,
loop
sir.
will go from, I'll just print it. This loop is going to move from 65 to 90. So if we run it right now, let's say any text. So it is running from 65 to 90. Now he is running it from 65 to 90 because the corresponding characters, like internally A is 65, B is 66 and so on. So if I want to display it, I can say that okay, CHR I, and then this will make it clear what is happening. So what is now happening is, if you go down again, this text thing, I'll just enter any garbage. So can you see? Then code, the corresponding code, 65 is A, 66 is B, 67 is C, and so on. Yes, Karthik. Now what do you suggest?
So we can
Run another loop now.
no, sir.
Then.
So we can use the count function, str.count.
Okay. So what you want me to do now?
So
You want me
print
to take out a
str
character.
dot.
You want me to take out a character from a string, isn't it? So that will require one more loop, isn't it?
No, sir.
Okay. What should I write? Come on, tell me.
So str.count inside the print statement.
Okay. So you want to say str.count, then this thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now if I run it, and again I have to enter a string, so I say to be or not to be, and I press enter. Okay, so it's working, right?
Of course.
66, 69 is coming 2 times. Okay. Now, of course, I is not required, so we can get rid of the I. Or better still, we can say that CHR of I and how many times it is occurring. So now if I run it, we'll get a nicer output. So we say to be or not to be. So now we are getting the frequency table. If you want to further improve it, we can get rid of zeros, isn't it? So I can just take out this portion from here, and I can take one more variable. Let's call it frequency is equal to this, and then I say that okay, if frequency is more than 0, then I want to display the frequency. So if I run it once more and I give the input, you get the frequency table. Clear? Now, is it a good method now? We are getting the answer, but getting the answer is just the minimum requirement of any program. If the program is not even working, then what's the point of having a program? Now, is this program good? Is it efficient?
No, it's not.
Actually, there is a nested loop. Please note there's an outer loop which is running for the 26 characters. And then even though the second loop is not visible, whenever you are saying str.count, it should be evident that internally it is going through all the characters and then it is finding the count. So though the second loop is not visible, it is still there. Right? Is everyone getting the problem with the code? It's not that we are not getting the correct answer. We are getting the correct answer. But my point is that this outer loop is running how many times? 26 times. And this inner loop, every time you are saying find A, it will find A in to be or not to be. That means once it checks for, so it is, this is running number of characters time. So total number of times the loop is running, if the string is of 100 characters, it is running 2600 times. So which is actually pretty much. So today's assignment is you will try to do it in a more efficient way using what you have done till now. So this is actually the homework for today. You have to write this frequency program in such a way that it's slightly more efficient. Clear? Is the question clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
So today everyone will try it out. Otherwise, I'll let you know how to get this thing done in the next class.
Great. Yeah.
Though I can do it right now also, it's just a very small thing, but I want you to think. Thinking is very important because see, I mean, there are lots of Python tutorials, there are lots of Python books which will tell you the syntax and all, but syntax is not the thing. You have to apply it, right? So just think how you can reduce the number of steps. And the best way to do is, you just think that if you have to do it yourself, how will you do it? Will you actually count all the A's once, all the B's once, or you'll use some better method? So if you can find a better method to do it manually, you can make the computer do the same as well. Right? So that's all for today. We'll continue tomorrow.
Great. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Karthik.
So since the school is going to reopen, how will this class be?
The school timings will be from 10 to 1, so I can actually very easily take one class in the morning, and then I'll proceed with my routine normally. Don't worry.
So at what timing?
The timing will remain the same.
Then it will be difficult for me to join the class, sir.
Why?
So I'll be getting ready at this time.
Okay, so we'll move it half an hour earlier. 7 to 7:30 we'll make it.
Okay, sir.
Will that be okay with everyone else? 7 to 7:30?
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.
Thank you, sir.